So both of these players looking as sharp as ever.
Yeah, if you think about how Nephew got sent down, as you say, 0-3, that was a very different play. It looked very different than in that last set. Like, that was about as confident as you can feel, I think. And so coming into this set here, I think I'd be surprised. Well, I was surprised to see it the first time, Chris winning 3-0. But I'd be extra surprised, I think, to see anything like that again here.
Yeah, I'm one of those players or one of those people that often tends to favor the person that lost the first set when the rematch has to happen in the same tournament. So even if Nephew doesn't pull out the victory here, I do imagine it's going to be much closer. I'm right there with you. So let's get into it. Grand Finals, Liquid Nephew versus 4T-Dub, ChrisCCH. Going to be our Grand Finals, ChrisCCH winner side grands. Both of these players qualified for Capcom Cup in Ryugoku.
Why'd you put the little jaunty cap back on? What do you, come on.
That, as far as I'm concerned, Ending Walker exclusive outfit. Every other Ed needs to use the new outfit.
Yeah, and they're right to do so.
Straight up. Yes, yeah, 100%.
Look at his little hat. Look at it. Come on.
The Juri here already got the hat and Ed in the corner. Oh, but ChrisCCH again, never going to go quietly into the night. You can see just the amount of space that Ed demands respect from.
Oh, yeah.
Like you see Nephew, he's going to want to get those 2 stocks up so he can do the forward advancing Fuha into the stock to try to get in past this range, and does successfully throw the parry attempt.
It's a very clearly different strategy from Nephew. He's already jumped more than I think he did in the whole first set. Like, he's moving forward.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a clear mindset of get in rather than trying to play this neutral game.
It's something that you got to represent if the opponent, oh my goodness, he's willing to sit there and charge flicker, try to force different reactions out of you. The jump is a must.
Yeah, active. Chris jumping now.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder what Chris was trying to scout. I mean, Nephew is stocked up. Maybe he was looking for a fireball. Finds it there, of course.
All the way.
He tried a little hezzy right there. He was so close to punishing that with a fierce. Oh,
just in time, yeah. Perfect little moment. Right, and what else would it be to find the end of the game here but that forward movement first?
Yeah.
So jumping, showing the forward movement, walking forward the movement, just obviously, clearly more offensive style than before.
Yeah, and when you show your opponent different options from that set range, that's what allows you to sneak closer and get those crouch medium kicks off, right? Rather than getting stuffed trying to get into that range in the first place. So great adjustment already from Nephew here in Game 1 of Grand Finals. And he's in loser's side, so he needs the full reset victory, have a chance at first place, but already a Renko kick starter. Ooh, back to back with it right there.
Yeah.
Attempt frame kills.
Looking super strong.
Side switch off that.
Setting up a little bit of a way out. And again, still moving forward.
Yes, indeed. That's why he's going to be looking for a whole lot of 2 stocks. We've seen it a couple of times already. Oh, the perfect parry on the fireball's always there, but...
Yeah, I missed it. But still, I mean, the idea of pressing buttons instead of holding on a parry or blocking.
Yeah, absolutely.
His main go-tos so far until that.
Wow, and the DP ends up flubbing, and of course, a little bit of scramble afterwards, but Nephew going to make the most of it. Put another round on the board here. What a way to start this Grand Finals. Looking very sharp.
Yep, again, setting it up. And the reason to do that is to force your way in.
Exactly.
So that continues to be the strategy, continues to be effective.
Just in time on that one, letting the flicker go. Whoa, tried the crouch line. I don't know if it was intentionally to dodge the jump in right there, but it might have been. Some hurt box manipulation.
The button from Nephew walking up into this range where Chris oftentimes feels so strong, where Ed feels so strong.
Oh, I don't know what happened right there from Nephew. Tried something immediately got punch countered.
Okay.
It's a trade.
Huge range.
Legit. Oh man, that crouch medium kick just outside of it. And Chris just gonna target combo him down. I believe that target combo, the first 2 hits is plus in burnout, if I'm not mistaken. So Chris was just content to kind of spam that until we got the victory.
Chris trying to be back at that comfortable spot. Oh, little whiff cancel, that's all right. There's the burnout. Nephew will try to push towards the corner.
Yeah, he's trying some fuzzy stuff right there. And expose the overhead. He might get another opportunity to do so. Feng Shui at the end of it. My goodness. Right
Here
as
we
the
go.
Feng Shui ran out, too.
It's not quite grab to kill, but very close.
Oh,
man.
That's still
3
in
times.
burnout. Yeah, that means extended plus frames, right? So it definitely could still get that fuzzy off because of that, even without the Feng Shui. Nice stuff from Nephew.
Saw 3-0 by Chris earlier, and now Nephew threatening to do the same. And this round's starting off like it might happen again.
Very well, Mike gets the jump in past the flicker. I don't think Chris was holding the heavy version. Of course, it's the upwards angle that can thwart jumps.
Looking for the confirm. Again.
They're just harassing. I wonder if Nephew's going to be willing to risk a DI maybe against some of this flicker pressure. He doesn't need to, obviously, since he's up 2-0, but the driver's forward fierce to get over the fireball. Huge, and Nephew burns himself out and gets punished with that drive reversal.
Ooh, there was a button there.
Indeed, so scary. He actually does get out an empty jump so he can take the throw on landing. Very smart. Oh, man, you still gonna get chipped out anyway, brother.
I don't think so. Is that it? Yeah, okay.
Just barely holding on for dear life. As you do get chunked by chip or whatever it may be, your burnout meter does regain faster. So he got it back just in time before he got burnt out. Or excuse me, before he got chipped out.
It's a lot of offense from Chris now. Oh man.
And just schemed and waited.
Grab for the kill.
Yeah, I love that, covering all his bases too. Nephew was like below the 2-bar threshold, right? So he was gonna burn himself out with an OD, so he just covered it with a level 1, or covered it with a fireball.
It's a lot better from Chris. Saw a bit of a different strategy from him there. It was more offense on his side. Yeah, a lot more forward movement. If you go back and look at the winners finals, it was so much about that mid-range control.
Absolutely. Nephew looking much cleaner in that space, looking much more comfortable. Oh, and then we already know the fierce. Another follow-up for you. Showing all the routes off that starter, but Chris is gonna bust out.
Trying to look for confirms. Both of them. Yep, there it is. The single hit confirm on Fierce has been so big for him today.
Yeah, super clean from Nephew here. Now on reset point. Just like that. And Chris though with punishing that stand fierce attempt. If you're gonna get that much mileage off connecting it, he's not gonna let it go whiffed and unpunished. Oh, the trade conversion off that as well was nasty.
Just holding on. Nephew, comfortable. Oh, not for long.
Oh, my, the jabs.
God. When will he stop pressing light attack?
Oh, man, for real, though. Just the jab uppercuts. You don't see people throw jabs like that either. Very unorthodox from Ed. And man, is it paying off. Still safe, of course. Yeah, he even tried to parry afterwards. Good on Nephew for going with the medium. A little bit tougher to parry, or perfect parry.
Well, Nephew just blocking it out. Okay, the hit comes. This means Oki. Ah.
Yeah, not only escapes the corner, but punishes that stand fierce attempt. ChrisCCH was looking for the money button.
Still Nephew's turn.
It is. Oh, man, Chris doesn't get caught flinching. Does try to jump in and get something started, but shut down again and again. And Nephew here is going to be able to reset the bracket like that real quick in the first set, too. 3-1 KO.
Well, I love his changes, the adaptations and strategy. More offense, more forward movement. A lot more insistent about that. That's great. And it worked out, obviously, throughout that set. But also in that set, by the end of it, especially the previous game, we saw changes from Chris, too.
Yeah,
where
absolutely.
he was playing more offensively. So in this now final set of the tournament, I think we're probably going to see more of that from Chris, is my guess. And then what's the counter adaptation? We saw the start, right? This more mid-range control.
Yeah.
Adaptation by Nephew into more offense. adaptation by Chris into more offense of his own. What's the choice now?
Yeah, I wonder, right? Like, how does it go about it? Because Nephew did win the set, right? So I wonder what he's thinking about changing, what he's trying to stay ahead of Chris on.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, as you mentioned, Chris definitely got more aggressive towards the second part, or towards the latter half of the first set. Try to get in his range, trying to beat Nephew to the ranges he likes to be at, right? And I think that's going to remain Chris's mindset because Ed is really good at that, considering the range he has. So if you can kind of game plan around being at those ranges where your opponent wants to be and kind of have that just frame or two advantage, it'll result in big damage. So I think that's what Chris is going to try. And we'll see if Nephew can kind of manipulate that area enough to get some whiff punishes going.
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to hop in.
Right back
if the players are ready. And they are.
Nephew and Chris. Grand Finals reset. All knotted up. Both players in the losers bracket now.
Not many people watching in the background.
Oh, my goodness. No, cleared out. Man, except for my man working out here.
Yeah.
Can't even get a full push-up.
I mean, he's done how many millions of push-ups in this game over the last year?
I can't do it anymore.
Yes. I've been doing push-ups literally 24/7 since June 2023.
Gonna be ripped. They're gonna be looking like a Kuma at 39. That's a callback for you. ChrisCCH gonna be with a side switch, level 2 built up as well. It's very dangerous now. He might risk an OD blitz here. Oh, instead an ODDP is the choice. And Nephew is gonna punch it outright.
He's not afraid to use that EXDP to get through stuff. We see it pretty often from him.
That's for sure. We've seen it since the Chris T set in this top 8 as well.
Yeah.
More than willing to pop off and represent it. He might need to here again, cornered up against Nephew, but instead backdashes. And that's going to give him the full screen for potential DC combo. He gets the starter. Oh, but she ran into it prematurely.
It ends up working out for Chris. He's got the corner anyway.
Oh, the pinwheel representation from Nephew here. Not trying to let Chris get any more momentum.
Right. Would have burned down on the cancel.
Jump in, connect. Huge read from ChrisCCH to call it the fireball from Nephew. Built another level 2 in the process to close the door on the round.
Expertly calculated on damage, too.
Yes. Man, this character, his meter build still very much intact, even with the normalizations. Like, look at this. He'll have another level 2 by the end of this round as well.
Yeah, Nephew knew. Put himself at the red spot.
Catching the light kick. That's not an easy button to whiff punish right there. Nephew had the timing ready.
And how does Chris avoid the burnout here? He's going to be on a pixel.
Good luck. Oh,
He takes the hit.
Took the hit.
Nope, you get hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Just ran out of good options. Like, there's just not a lot to do there.
100%. And good on Nephew, right, for keeping his eye on the ball right there, just doubling up on the projectiles, shutting down the level 1 at every corner. Now Nephew with the first true lead in this set. This is the reset grand finals.
Early enough.
Yeah, getting the Psycho Blitz follow-up after, and now baiting the pinwheel. This round is getting out of control very quickly. Chris on the board.
In part because Nephew felt like he needed to make some difficult defensive choices.
Yeah.
Happens sometimes. Here's Chris now. Squats time.
Oh, man. He's transitioned. Never skip leg day.
And he hasn't.
Yeah, for sure. OD again, and we got the level 2 on deck. You know what it be. Close to the corner now, so no D-Sync attempts. Just taking the damage and the drive meter drain that you can get. Fake the save jump, I guess. Maybe that second part was to call out like a jump medium punch that Juri's like to do. That would have been interesting.
That would be
to see.
sick, yeah.
All right, but either way, ChrisCCH ties up this grand finals. Now we're in a best 2 out of 3 for the tournament.
This is more like that winner's finals. That slower mid-range.
Exactly, and I mean, Nephew might try to do some things to risk upping the tempo a bit, try to make this higher pace. That's what paid off for him in the first set of grand finals, I should say.
And keeping it slow. Here's Nephew now.
Oh, the Ren call. He ran into it. Had the buffer behind it. Another parry throw, but goes back to the well. Trust me, I make those same defensive decisions.
No hold parry on that either. It's something we saw him do a lot earlier. Haven't really seen it this set.
Dang, yeah, that's a good point. Nephew has not really represented that option. Oh, but he does represent the crouch medium punch, drive rush cancel. With the fireball to set him up. What a throw tech from Chris.
Chris knowing the setup.
Yeah, if you don't know that setup right, you see the fireball looming, you're just going to want to block the fireball. You get thrown for free. But Chris having the wherewithal right there, just jumping over the level 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that a lot there. Yeah, the flicker was a very powerful option in that instance. I think he just saw the backdash and let it go. So he might have been looking to charge to get some damage and some plus frames on him to bring him close.
His nephew.
Oh, he perfect parry, but he kept the streak tight anyway.
Looking for the confirm. Yeah, there it is, walking up. Chris's defense coming to play.
Yeah,
back to the wall still.
To be ready to block overheads after teching from the air, it's extremely difficult.
Nephew's still aware. Not letting the easy escape happen. He's got the cage set up.
Yeah, just keeping him locked in this corner.
It's cool to see where Nephew's starting these attacks from. He'll back off outside of flicker range and then get things going.
Like, whenever he has those 2 stocks up, like, that is one of the primary ways to get in. Oh!
Yes.
And Chris, I think, anticipating some movement from Nephew, but instead just fierce in the face.
Okay. Nephew's going to go for that drive gauge. Won't quite be burnout.
Yeah, and the OEDP being slower on Ed's side, I think he doesn't get as much freedom to use the OS. Like, you can cancel for mediums and still block. Usually you have to cancel from heavies to be able to block the DPs in time.
All right, what do you got, Chris? It's not going to work out in this game. 2-1, Nephew 1 game away.
Okay, Neff. What a turnaround this has been from winners finals. Overall, having what, like a 5-1 lead in this grands right now? This is wild.
5-2,
I believe.
5-2, yeah, but still, great lead.
Yeah, Nephew has been showing out. Now he's 1 game away. He's gotten the second stock as well, so can feel a little bit more free about approaching.
Okay.
Air to air from Chris. Okay.
I guess that could have been a dive kick. Why not? Go up into this guy instead. Here we go.
All right, well.
That is that on this round.
First round went tragically for Nephew. Chris with a great bait out on the OD pinwheel, though. He's been pretty smart with those. Gonna have the buffer at the ready. Just waiting for Nephew to walk into his space.
Wow.
Okay. Fireball as well as the OD, so it just out-prioritized that flicker. He's able to follow up behind it.
Very active is Chris. He's going to try to go coast to coast on this one. No. That's all right. Still a lot of damage.
Definitely still a good look. And yeah, I mean, that saved him from dying.
Yeah, true.
If he did not drive rush out of that parry attempt, it would have been punish counter, much like you see the Snatcher. Fine, true, and it is 2-2 for the tournament.
About as close as it gets. And again, both of these players are qualified for Capcom Cup already. They have proven that they're among the best already. Wouldn't expect anything other than a close set here.
Like we're saying, and Chris, man, after that tech throw, just committing to the jump, knowing players like to throw their projectiles after a tech throw. Huge reward and having that significant lead, but we finally see a DI represented up against those flicker block strings. Tried to get the back throw reset in the midst of it. Oh my, and then popping off with the plus frames. Nephew doing everything.
These air-to-airs have become really consistent and really strong for Chris. Again.
Yes, indeed. I love it.
He knew.
The heavy flicker. After the trade, he knew how he was going to try to escape the corner. What a representation to be on set point, tournament point.
Feeling like an absolute genius after that call.
Most definitely.
Thinking 2 seconds in advance.
Even before that, as you highlighted the air-to-airs, just to maintain the corner, right? He really prioritized keeping that positioning advantage over everything else. Now he's got the OD Psycho Blitz into the level 2 once again. Ooh, I like that little mid-screen juggle. Okay. Oh, and just a walk back. Able to get the landing frames on that one. Nephew gets the perfect parry. Some breathing room is here, along with the Renko kicks.
Pick up. No. Boy, he was very cautious.
Yeah.
worried about something coming out of Chris, and now Nephew would love to not block. Yeah, you see him looking for the confirm on that stand Pierce.
Yeah, exactly.
You know it goes into level 1 or whatever he wants.
There's some distance, but Chris is starting to block string him up here. Gonna hinder Nephew from just freely making choices. Now he's above the 3-bar threshold. He can feel a little bit more comfortable. He had the 2 stocks, trying to find his way in again.
Okay.
The perfect carry on that. He's just gonna take the throw. Trying to make sure he's got the punish on deck here.
Looking to set up a lot of drive gauge successfully too. You often see people do the drive reversal out of there. Not this time. Nephew in trouble.
Another air to answer him. And yeah, the chip is adding up very quickly. Goes into the level 3 after the minus frames. Thought Chris would go for a chip kill, but he waited patiently. The disciplinary actions from ChrisCCH result in a tournament victory.
So again, he has qualified for Capcom Cup by points, by doing well enough in this to get top 8, to put himself at top of the leaderboard. But to get the W2, that's great.
Yeah, 100%. That's the exact way you want to go into Capcom Cup, right? Of course, qualifying is great. That's the main priority. That's the #1 goal. Did that, getting in the top 8 due to JB falling short. But the fact that he still wanted to make sure he sent the message, play at his very best, sharpen his skills, and just look as strong as he did. Big ups to ChrisCCH being able to, again, not only qualify for Capcom Cup, but take the 5th and final regular season World Warrior for US Canada West. And again, it is a super region with some of the toughest competition in the world. And for him to play as consistently as he did throughout the entirety of the season. And again, self-admittedly, he had struggles in season 1. He didn't have the best mindset going into this game. And the fact that he buckled down, grew up, and made sure that he put himself in the right mindset, found a character that he really gelled with, and is now back at Capcom Cup where he belongs. It's a beautiful thing.
I saw him retweet. Oh, I guess it was just now. I saw him retweet a tweet that he did earlier in the year when he picked up Ed first, and he was like, "Man, I gotta stop playing Ed. It's like it's like when I was playing Sakura in SF5. Like this is just not the right call."